There's kind of like a tribal energy, I think, to like folk music and to like electronic music. That beat-driven aspect of it is a huge part, and that's why a lot of the young folk in Skye are into both of those things.
I crossed to the Isle of Skye in his 66th year, enjoying life the best way he can.
We've got a really interesting mix between like DJs and electronic music and traditional Gaelic stuff and other folk, and it attracts a lot of different types. Yeah, really good mix of folk, but they're all really up for everything.
They're both things that people like to have a party to.
It's a unique blend of music. We promote traditional folk artists and electronic music, which don't normally go together, but you know, we think that there's quite a lot of synergy between the two of them. The main stage is bands all through the day, and then we go until 2 a.m. each night and usually have a DJ to cap it off.
This is the entrance up to the tower stage here. We light up the tower with projections, so it's a real spectacle at night. This was a hangout when I was younger, growing up. It was a good spot to come and chill with your pals, but didn't ever think we'd be projecting onto it and running a festival around it. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
And we're kind of like sitting right above one of the more iconic shots of Skye, which is the Portree Harbour.
Yeah.
Everyone always takes the photos of coloured houses. So we're just sitting right up above that.
I mean, there's a lack of events that happen on Skye, so it's great to be able to put something on for the local people to enjoy.
I think it also, we get quite a lot of young locals coming to it as well, because they grow up with folk music coming from the area, and it's but they're also into contemporary music like electronic music. So some people might look at it and go that the two don't go together, but a lot of people here, they're hand in hand because it's their upbringing and then what they're into as they grow up.
I'm a fan of both traditional and electronic music.
I'm more traditional and I play the fiddle.
Traditional.
See,
I'm more electronic probably.
Traditional,
electronic,
The likes of Nightworks are the perfect representation of what we're trying to do musically, in that they're fusing electronica and traditional folk and Gaelic song together.
What was it? What were we called?
Resident band.
Resident band. We were the resident Skye Live band. So this will be the 5th year in a row. It's cool to be able to come back home as well and play. And
yeah, we've got quite a good slot tonight. The last band on just before Errol Alkin does his kind of headline DJ set. Well, we all kind of played the pipes when we were younger and other traditional instruments, so we've got that background. There's quite a lot of trad music that happens in Skye, but we're all into electronic music as well, and so yeah, it just kind of made sense for us to kind of marry the two.
it kind of came naturally. It wasn't as if we sat down and said, oh, do you know what would be cool, as if we put a big kick drum underneath Scots Way or Scotland the Brave or something like that.
I guess bands like on the trad side, like Peatbog Fairies, who were doing a similar thing in terms of playing traditional instruments and traditional music in a more alternative setting. That was a kind of a big influencer as well.
We've been playing for 28 years now, and we started off here in Skye as just like a pub band. We played things like Irish pub songs, Scottish pub songs, a few dances. But then we started playing with other rhythms, with like sort of bit of pop music, jazz and stuff, with bagpipes, and that seemed to be the most popular thing. So we evolved into that. When we first started playing this type of music, there was very few others. Sugar Nifty were about. Martin Bennett came just slightly after us, so we kind of dominated the festival scene at that time because there wasn't really much like it. Whereas now you see, great bands like the Elephant Sessions and Nightworks, obviously from Skye. They were just kiddies when we were doing this, but now they're grown-ups playing at the same stages, which is great to see.
Our sound, because it's quite hard to pigeonhole, like sometimes we're maybe too electronic for the trad music festivals, and sometimes we're too. The electronic music festivals wouldn't book us because we've got pipes or whatever. So it's finding the festivals that are suited to our sound.
That's why Skye Live's good. I mean, because it's a complete natural setting for us.
When we were kind of in school and stuff like that, there was a lot of festivals going on. We had Rock Ness, and there was the Skye Music Festival as well. That's kind of where we started getting into the electronic stuff. I mean, we listened to it all throughout high school. Like there was, the whole Milo thing was going on in the 2000s.
Even if you weren't a fan of his music, which all of us are, but you couldn't doubt the influence it's had on us and growing up on Skye.
Like before viral was a thing, it was probably the equivalent of going viral. You know, it was.
Because it was a meteoric rise from just like from Skye and a band from Skye. And I think just that story, it made it seem to us that, you know, like having success as a band is possible.
Yeah. My relationship with Milo goes back quite a long time because he's my older brother, so I'm kind of quite used to getting introduced. I've been getting introduced as his little brother since I first went to primary school. When he toured live, the live act that we ran with was him, me, Willie, who's in Oak Perry Gorge, and Lewis Harley, who's a great bass player. It was quite a live band for that type of music, I think. Skye's got quite a strong tradition of like fusing different kinds of music together, which in terms of the sorts of music that I was listening to when I grew up, I'm going to say that goes back as far as Run Rig, you know, coming out of the music of this area and fusing that with what was the kind of rock and pop music of the time in the late 70s. I'm sure that tradition goes way further back than that, but you've got acts like Run Rig coming out, you've got sort of dance music acts coming out, then you've got acts doing the same thing but bringing it all together in a much newer way, like Nightworks, who I think are bringing those traditions together in a way that's so much more complicated than just taking a trad tune and sticking some beats behind it. You know, they've really managed to bring it all together.
Some people have kind of said, oh, whether we're flag bearers or, you know, kind of leading the charge and making sure traditional and Gaelic stays alive and all that. I don't think we've ever really seen ourselves as that. I think what we do, it's nice that folks see it in that way.
In recent years, I wouldn't call it a crossover, but there are things about the newer traditional bands that are incorporating, you know, certain aspects of music technology and stuff like that, whereas I think for a long time I had that music out completely off my radar, but I was like, I don't like all that fiddly D music. That's not for me.
Killed for saying that up here.
Yeah, I know that. To my shame.
But now you've like, for example, you've Nightworks, who've managed to find a way.
That's what I'm talking about.
To fuse it really well together. It doesn't sound it just works fused together.
Yeah.
People nowadays are very open-minded to music, so you can go from a traditional thing to a really futuristic electronic thing and going back to highlights. So more of that and more of bringing people together.
It's probably the least pigeonholed music you can imagine. There's so many influences, you know, from Gaelic singers to pipe bands to accordion bands, to borders ballads. There's endless varieties, and it's, you know, it's all got the same root, which is a lovely thing. It all comes from tunes and songs initially, and you know, it develops into all sorts of strange monsters.
We performed traditional Gaelic songs, so we did that earlier on, and then we joined Nightworks for a couple of songs. We do our songs, like we said, with Sheehan acoustically, and they've been passed on by oral tradition, and then Nightworks put a kind of different twist on that, but they stay true to the integrity of the song as well. So they're very respectful of the music that you bring, or the songs that we suggest. Exactly. They don't really want to change them, but We've been involved in lots of different collaborations. I think it really pushes your boundaries.
Opens your mind.
Yeah, and it lets you try new things, and that's exciting.
You know, traditions are important for keeping as traditions. It's great to have like sessions, like music sessions around Skye, and that you can walk into a pub and there's an old guy in the corner with an accordion and stuff like that. And that kind of unchanging tradition is what people kind of latch onto and what's kind of nice for them and stuff like that. But as well as that, it's always good to change as well, because that's what brings in new people. And perhaps through a redefining of trad, or perhaps through changing trad to make it more accessible to other people, they'll maybe go deeper and find that old guy in the pub as well. So, so it's kind of a win-win, I think, for all.